This episode of the DJ Force X podcast is proudly sponsored by FiXT. FiXT is a fan and artist-friendly independent record label that specialises in hybrid electronic rock. It's home to the likes of Celduella, Blue Starly, I Will Never Be the Same, Richie Nix, The Algorithm, Voicians, CD Akira, and a whole bunch more. Check out their latest label sampler for just $1 at their official store, FiXTstore.com. That's FiXT store.com. Save 10% off your first order by using my coupon code FORCEX. That's FORCEX. They have loads of shirts, hoodies, stickers, posters, and many other accessories for all their artists, and this is available worldwide with fantastic international shipping rates to go with that. So head over to FiXTstore.com and check them out. And don't forget, use my coupon code FORCEX. Hello and welcome to episode 34 of the DJ Force X podcast. This week I introduced Dan, aka Voicians, a member of the FiXT family. This is his first audio interview as of recording it. It was recorded about a month ago. But yeah, he's currently got Survival League out now on FiXT. You want to go check that out. It's a great track. And he's also featuring on Marduk's new album, Never Give Up. He is on the track The End, and that is out now on Hospital Records as well. Great drum and bass label, that one. So go check that out if you haven't already. A couple of things today. Today is National Donut Day, the day of recording this particular podcast. So getting my free donuts on. So that's all good. Also, there are some local here in Tampa. There's a newspaper called Creative Loafing. Comes out once a week. It's a free newspaper. But they're about to have their annual awards. And they pretty much cover every spectrum you can in the local area. So from artists, restaurants, personalities. But they've also got a podcast nomination area and a radio show nomination area. I bet you can't guess what I'm going to ask you to do. Okay, you probably guessed it. But yes, if you can go to creativeloafing.com/BOTB, Best of the Bay, that stands for. Go to under the People, Places and Politics section. And if you scroll down, there's a podcast and a radio show. They should be right next to each other. And I was wondering if you wouldn't mind voting my show in. So in the podcast, the DJ Force X podcast, and in the radio show, Crossing the Streams, which brings me on to my next bit, Crossing the Streams. It's on every Tuesday on TotalRock.com at 11 p.m. UK time, 6 p.m. East Coast, and also on Saturday nights at midnight East Coast time on themix.fm. That's TheMixX.fm. Both of them are available by the TuneIn radio app as well, which is a great free radio app for your phone if you haven't already got it. But once it airs on Tuesdays, the next day it gets uploaded and available on demand on mixcloud.com/DJ Force X. And as of recording this particular episode, there are 123 editions of that show. And this month marks the 3rd anniversary of that show as well. When it started out, it was called the DJ Force X Show. And within the last sort of 6 months or so, I changed its name to Crossing the Streams to kind of give it its own identity rather than sort of slapping my name on it. And yeah, it's going. You can go there, you can go listen to it. There's an app for the phones as well, Mixcloud app. You may have to sign up for their site, but just, you know, if you don't like notifications, just turn them all off. And yeah, you get my show once a week up there, obviously pending whether I've done the show or not. There's been a few weeks where I've just had too much going on that I've just let it repeat out. But go check it out. It's really fun to make, and it's a metal and electronic music crossover show, and it's a mix as well. So it's like a solid hour of music with me just warbling over some of the tracks, telling you what's just been played and what's coming up. So yeah, also new album alert. We've got Beyond All Recognition, who were one of the first guests I had on this show. And I had David and Edwin on the band, from the band, and they were on the 3rd episode that I made of this podcast. Anyway, from then, that was way back in, where was it now? 2014. Oh my goodness. All right, yeah, 2014, and it came out October 30th. I published that particular episode, and yeah, so we're coming up to an anniversary of this show as well. So yeah, I mean that's all good. So yeah, go check out their album. Sorry, Beyond All Recognition. It's a self-titled album. It's out now. It's available from their website, their Bandcamp, all those kind of places. You can stream it on Spotify. You can stream it on Apple Music if you're a subscriber to that as well. But go check it out. It's absolutely brutal. It's a fantastic album. They were great guys to have on, and I wish them all the luck with that particular album. And finally, please rate and review this show on iTunes. That would be fantastic if you can do that. I'm not going to put an outro on these shows anymore because I'm going to tell you everything up front. That's why this one's a little bit longer than it normally is at the start. But yeah, if you can rate and review this show, it would help me so much. I'm trying to develop this show, and I'm even contemplating setting up a kind of network of sorts to kind of keep my radio show and podcast in under one umbrella, and then try and bring in some other like shows, podcasts and things like that to kind of put under the umbrella and kind of build from there. But rating and reviewing my show on iTunes, on Stitcher, wherever you get your podcast from would be absolutely fantastic if you could do it. It just helps bring the notoriety up, helps me get some more guests on the show. I've got like 4 already in the can that are coming out over the next couple of weeks. I've got Everybody Panic, which I think I told you about in the last episode. I've got Smash Hit Combo all the way from France with that one. I've got Follow My Lead. They're from Ireland, and they're about to drop a new album in a couple of weeks. And Logical Terror all the way from Italy. So I'm kind of getting worldwide guests on this show, and I just want to get there. I want to give them exposure. And rating and reviewing my show helps. And if you could do that, that would be absolutely fantastic. Anyway, we are going to get on with the interview. So yeah, this is Dan from Voicians. Enjoy. I have a very special guest on this week's show. I have Dan from Voicians. How are you doing today, Dan?
Hey, I'm fine, dude. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, no problem at all, no problem. How are you today?
I'm very fine. Yeah, just chilling and doing my first audio interview.
Oh, nice. Nice. Well, this is all good. Welcome.
Yeah, thanks.
Cool. So, for the benefit of my listeners, this is Voicians. If they haven't heard of you before, could we get some background on you?
Well, I'm Daniel from Germany. I'm 26 years old, and I produce electronic rock in the style of Cell Dweller. I'm signed to his label, FiXT, and I do all kinds of hybrid music, electronic, drum and bass, rock, whatever you want. I don't just do one genre. I do many genres, and I usually mix everything, and so it's a hybrid mix of music, basically what I'm doing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Cool. And when did you get started?
That was back in 2007, I think. Yeah. And the funny thing is, I started producing music because of Cell Dweller, because I heard his music somewhere, and then I checked out his pages, and then I saw that there's a remix contest, and yeah, and that's why I started producing and finally releasing stuff. And after years, I got signed to his label, which is quite cool.
Nice. So that's where the relationship with FiXT sort of started for you.
Yeah, was been in contact with them for many years. Yeah.
Oh, that's excellent. Excellent. Did you win the remix contest, or did you?
Well, the first remix I did was so bad it didn't even end up on the page. You know, nobody got to hear it ever because it was so bad. I think they didn't want to show it to the public, but. For the next contest, I tried to do a better one, and then I did 7 remixes, and one of them got third, and after that, I won. I got first in a remix contest for a different song, and yeah,
nice.
So I just try to improve, and
yeah. No, that's really cool. What would you say your influences were? Obviously, you have a sort of there's a plethora of styles of electronic music within your sound, and obviously the rock element as well. Where did you pull your sort of influences from to sort of meld those sounds together?
Well, as said, I like so many different genres, and you can hear in my music that I have a few different influences. And for example, Pendulum are a huge influence.
Mm-hmm.
Always love their energy, rock, drum and bass, and that's definitely an influence. Then rockish stuff like Deftones, Marilyn Manson, and Linkin Park. Definitely Linkin Park. It got me into rock. At first, when I was 16 or something, that was the big thing back then, and I totally liked that they also mix electronic with rock, and that's definitely a band that has always influenced me. And other than that, there are many electronic things like Turntables. I'm not sure if you know him. He does very chilled electronic music, kind of different than soundtrack stuff like Hans Zimmer. I'm a huge Hans Zimmer fan, and I'm going to his live show soon, so that's also quite cool. And
nice.
As you can hear, many different genres like drum, bass, rock, orchestral stuff, everything kind of.
Yeah. Obviously, being from Germany, the European sort of, it's full of electronic music.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
And and Germany was known for me, from my side of things, was like more of a rock kind of thing going on. I was in a band. We toured across Europe and stuff, so we played out that way.
Cool.
And so I listened to your last year's release. Was it Part 1?
Yeah.
Is it an EP or an album? Would you say an album?
It's basically an EP.
Yeah.
It's kind of the harbinger of my full length album, if you want to call it like that. Maybe it's the first part. And it's basically, there's some songs on there that I have released independently earlier, and we mix them again and produce them again so that they sound a bit better than my old stuff. I like the old versions, and there are also new tracks and instrumentals and more stuff on the way, definitely.
Cool, because I got your latest single, Survival League.
Yeah.
And that's very good. I played that on my show as well.
Yeah, I saw it. Thanks, dude.
Yeah,
that's
no worries. So is that more of a taster for your next album? Is that something that's being produced this year, or is that more of a long-term goal?
The album definitely will take a while, but there will be new singles in between, until the album is done. But the Survival League is basically a single.
Mm-hmm.
And it's very mainly drum and bass.
Yeah.
And my album, I plan to do my album rather electronic rockish than drum and bass, but definitely you can hear the drum and bass in there, definitely.
Yes.
But I want to merge it more, like in Survival League. There are a few guitars in there, okay, but I want to do it more rockish, like rock, drum and bass kind of album. Yeah. So, but this still takes a while, and in between, as said, I'm going to finish a few singles.
Okay.
And we will see.
Cool.
That's this month. Basically, is the first month that I work only 50%. I reduced my job to focus more on music. So I have basically 2 weeks off from now on per month, and so I can focus on all the stuff I want to do. And let's see.
Nice.
Where it's going.
Yeah. So what do you do? Like, obviously away from the music, your job you just mentioned. Like, I'm always interested to see what musicians do as a source of income away from their music. So if you don't mind asking, what do you do?
Yeah. No, it's not a problem. I've always been into the audio industry. I started producing radio commercials.
Okay.
And now, since 2013, I work as a sound designer at a radio station here in Germany.
Cool.
It's a pretty cool job. I do, comedies, trailers, jingles, whatever whatever has to do with sound. So basically, I do all the sound stuff. And it's a cool job, but it's very demanding, and also regarding time, and I have early shifts, like waking up at 3 a.m., working till 12, a.m. and yeah, that's kind of exhausting doing the music thing on the side, and so I decided to reduce my job to 50% and have more time for music.
Nice. So
yeah, I'm quite excited.
Yeah, that's really good. You can actually do that, and obviously earning income from doing music is a rarity in some cases, or being able to concentrate on it. Because I mean, I have a job, and my music sort of production wise has gone down significantly since actually working.
True.
So
you have to work hard, definitely.
Yes, When I was in a band, even though we were producing music and out touring, I still had like 2-3 jobs at the same time.
Yeah, so,
just to make ends meet. Because you start getting older, you get more bills. So
yeah, it's demanding, and I always think that's kind of my motto. If you want something, you get it, and just stay stupid if you really want to succeed on some level.
Yes.
And just focus on and that's what I try to do now. And I have the 50% job to have my safety, and I have a cool label who support me, and I'm quite positive about the future. So
cool.
Let's see. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. That's really awesome. So, do you play out live? Do you play this music live, or is it more of a studio-based project?
Right now, it's rather a studio-based project. I've done 2 live shows, I think, but it's already a few years ago in the past, and yeah, it's definitely something I want to do more now. And since I am getting more and more into drum and bass, I plan to do more D&B live sets, but I also I'm keen about the playing live guitars and this kind of stuff. But it's very time demanding to prepare, and but it's definitely something I want to do in the future. Hit the road, get to see the people who like my music. Yeah, cool. So would you put together a full band, or would this just be, like you say, like a solo like DJ kind of thing going out there? My last shows, I had a guitarist who played the guitar stuff live, and I did synths and vocals live, and the rest came from my computer. Mm-hmm. So that was an interesting setup. It was kind of hybrid. Much from the laptop, but also you have the main parts live played, and that's definitely a solution I would do again, I think. But we will see. It's always you always have to see if you have the time to prepare, and if you find the right guitarist and who has also time. Yeah. I have to look into this more. Also, something I want to do this year. Flesh out the live ideas. Cool. So, speaking of production and things, I'm a bit of a sort of a gear freak, if you will, or a gear nerd, or whatever you want to call it. Same here. Yeah, you nice. Got the right person on your show. Yeah, no, I was just going to ask you what your studio looks like, what your favorite piece of gear is. My favorite piece of gear, I have quite a few favorites in my studio. For example, my Moog Little Fatty, that's my analog synth. That's definitely super cool synthesizer, and it's analog, and it sounds just fat, just like the name Little Fatty. Yeah, that's cool. Then I have the Arturia Mini Brute, also an analog synthesizer, and I love this thing as well, and I like the fact that you can save up presets, so you have to redo all the sounds again, and of course software. I use Cubase to produce, and I like Serum, the synthesizer from Xfer, Native Instrument stuff, obviously, and all the nice ear candy stuff like Stutter Edit from Isotope. That's quite cool to play around with that. It's just you press a button and everything gets ripped into tiny pieces. That's something I like, and there's so much. Also, Machine is cool for drums, and I have so much gear. But basically the synths, they are the heart, I think, and my guitars, obviously. Yes, because I was listening to your album earlier today, actually, during my break at work.
and I noticed there's a lot of like DJ scratches and things like that over that. Was that like sampled, or was that actually, you know, DJ scratching? Or
I'm not sure to which song you've listened to there.
There's let's go for I think it was the first track. I forget. Alive. Yes. Yeah.
For that song, I got a DJ scratch it. He is a friend of mine, and I asked him, "Hey, I have this idea here," and you know, I showed him a preview I made with samples.
Yeah.
But I felt it was not that naturally. It didn't sound right to me, and I asked him, "Hey, do you want to do it?" And yeah, sure. And he has turntables, and he's pretty good at scratching, and
nice.
he does all this crazy DJ stuff, and so he basically sent me the perfect take, and I just added it to the project, and that's it. And on my other songs, I sampled the scratches.
Nice.
But live is the first. I did a live DJ, and I definitely do this again because it sounds way better.
It does. Yeah. Coming from, I was a scratch DJ in a band for 10 years,
cool.
So it was something that I instantly gravitated towards, because every time I hear a DJ, like you say, like when you mentioned Linkin Park, there's bands like that, Limp Bizkit,
Johan.
Yes,
Johan. He. I told you, Linkin Park has been ever a huge influence to me, and Johan basically made me buy. Obviously, he didn't say it then, buy turntables, but I wanted to have turntables because of Linkin Park and because of Johan.
Nice.
And I was so bad, I gave up at one point, and I sold them, and then I just did all the programming stuff on my computer. But
nice.
Yeah, scratching is definitely something I love, and I don't want to miss it.
Yeah, no, that's something I do, because I moved over here to America, and my turntables are actually still in England. Which breaks my heart every day. It's like, it's the one thing I just haven't been able to afford to bring over here just yet. But this year I've got plans in to bring it all over here and have it all set up again, because I'm using a controller right now for my show, and you know, if I need to make scratching kind of, you know, parts of tracks and things, I use that. But if to me it just doesn't feel natural. The motions are generally the same, but the sound isn't. If that
that's
makes
true.
sense. It's kind of like that.
Which you have the Technics, or
I do have Technics, yeah.
Yeah,
cool. Yeah. I've got that, and the actual like Technics battle mixer as well. So it's a proper
sick,
sort of
dude.
Analog setup of it. So
I had reloop turntables, and because I couldn't afford the Technics, and it would have been way too crazy for me, because I was so bad, and I just started, and I had a reloop mixer. It was cool to play around with the turntable, but never mastered it.
No, I mean, I did it for years. It just became natural to me after a while, because I was a DJ prior to that, just playing music, you know, like roller discos and you know, and then I got like residencies at rock clubs in the UK and things like that. So I gravitated from like a bedroom DJ to a full on club DJ. And now I'm a radio DJ. It's kind of coming back round kind of thing. So cool. But the scratching thing I never lost. It's always a thing I gravitate to. I still pay attention to the DMC championships.
Yeah, dude, I've watched a video of DMC championships from '88 or something.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
But it's so awesome. They have these old school turntables, and
it's crazy watching. I had a bunch of old VHS videos.
It's so sick
of those things, and I now just go on YouTube and they're all uploaded. So I'm just like, great.
Yeah.
But
cool.
Yeah, no, I started using the digital setup as well for DJing. I used Native Instruments Tractor.
Yeah, I have the Control S4.
Oh, do you? Oh, yeah. I use the S2 as my controller. So
yeah, but the same thing there. I still have to practice, and I'm practicing on my stream. You know, I sometimes make a little drum bass live streaming session on Twitch, and I'm just trying to play around and get better.
Nice. Yeah, I was going to ask about your Twitch and stuff like that, and like using that kind of media to promote yourself, obviously, but then showcase various other things. So how does that work for you? How does Twitch work for you?
Twitch is basically quite cool to connect with my. I don't like to say fans, with the people who like my music, and they can ask me questions how I do this and that, and they see basically how I produce my stuff, and they see how I use my plugins, and I think that's a great way to connect with your fans, with the people, and yeah, that's quite cool, and yeah, people like that I share my production sessions, and it's definitely a good way for me to promote my music and stay in touch.
Yeah. So I was speaking to Seamless last week, and he has the same sort of thing with YouTube, but he puts up tutorials and things like that.
Yeah, true.
So I'm just curious because I've never used YouTube that way. I've uploaded music videos and tracks and things like that, but never utilized it for because back sort of the early 2000s, I was also a teacher. And I taught DJing. I taught it privately, and I taught it in a college as well. And it's something I've looked on there, and there's like hundreds of DJ tutorials. But it was something that I've always kind of like wanted to go into, and obviously Twitch as well. That's sort of, I've seen that mainly used for gaming.
Yeah.
Not for much else. I've not really looked for much else on there, to be honest with you. But knowing that you use it for that kind of thing, it sort of shows the versatility of it. So it's not just, let's
Definitely.
play videos. It's let's make music kind of thing. So
yeah, true.
That's really cool.
Yeah, what I want to do is I want to just take parts from my Twitch stream and upload them to YouTube, just to reach the people there as well. But I'm still not sure which parts and how long I want them to be, because basically my YouTube channel is actually my music channel where I upload my tracks and songs and mixes. But yeah, I'm not sure if I do it. But yeah,
Cool. So what are your plans going forward from here? Obviously, we talked a little bit about an album. Do you have any set in stone releases coming out?
Yes, at the moment I'm doing quite a few vocal collaborations. I do vocals for drum and bass artists here from Holland, and yeah, last year I've released this drum and bass song with my friend Mase from London.
Oh, nice!
On Liquidity, you know Mase?
Yeah, I've heard of Mase.
Yeah, and on Liquidity, and that's a great drum and bass scene here. The Liquidity events are pretty sick, and I just got in contact with all these people, and it's very inspiring to have all these drum and bass acts, and they kind of like what I do, and I like what they do, and so I do quite a few vocal collabs.
Nice.
I just did a collab with Marduk from Hospital Records.
Oh, yep, I heard of him as well.
Yeah, and the song is called The End, and it's going to be released with on his debut album coming out on Hospital in 2 weeks, I think. Nice. End of April. Yeah, and that's quite sick to be on this album, and Hospital Records always was one of the labels I really liked, and yeah, it's quite cool to getting in touch with this whole scene, and that's definitely something I want to get involved more. As said, with live shows maybe, and playing gigs, do more vocal collabs or other collabs, and yeah.
So I was going to say with that, because a lot of like drum and bass, they have like say live vocalists. Is that something you've been involved in yet, or do you want to get involved in, like having in them sort of coming as they're DJing their set and you come in, sing live over the track kind of thing?
Yeah, I did this in January this year. I was in Amsterdam with my friend Mase, and we performed together, and it was pretty sick. It was 7 a.m. in the morning, nice. And it was a festival, the Liquidity Festival, and it was crazy because there were still 4,000 people wide awake and dancing to your music, and it was so sick to be on that stage, and it was just a great feeling, and I definitely would do this again. So
nice.
Yeah, but for the start, I try to finish up my DJ sets and try to see if I can hit a few DJ slots or something. I could even do live vocals on my own sets. That's also something I would like to do.
Yeah, because it's rare to find a strong sort of male vocal over like drum and bass, because sort of a lot of the tracks from like back in the day that I remember through my experience with drum and bass and jungle, you obviously have a male sort of MC, but it was always like female melodic vocals.
Yeah, I always see, on YouTube comments like, dude, male vocals on drum bass just don't fit. And other people say, cool, finally some cool male vocals. But, I think there's so many great vocalists out there. It's just a matter of taste, I think.
Yeah.
With male or female, my main goal is always to, just listen to the emotion, to the lyrics, if it fits, if the melody is good. So that's my main, and it just needs to fit.
Yeah, exactly. I was speaking to a male vocalist called Matt Rose, and he's worked with like Dirty Phonics, Excision. He's currently with a group called Go Mad and Monster out of Spain, and he was in the Chemists before Ollie as well.
Cool.
But yeah, he's one of those like male vocalists that has a real strong kind of rock voice. But he's used for like drum and bass and general sort of electronic music, and it's finding these, and obviously Ollie of the Chemists as well. He's got a very strong, melodic kind of rock voice to go over the sort of drum and bass stylings of it, and it's very cool because it is lacking in that genre or in sort of dance music as a whole.
True.
So and your vocals are very strong.
Thanks.
Listening to your stuff, it's very strong. I can see why these other artists want to work with you. So
yeah, it's cool. It's very cool to see these guys approach me and tell me that they like my vocals, because it was kind of surprising when I started producing music. I was very unsure about my vocals, and I think I always thought they suck. Then I just did it, and well, I might not be the best vocalist, but people say I have some kind of edge in my voice or something. But
yeah, you do.
Yeah. I can't tell you always if I like it. At the end of a track, I always hate the track. But
yeah, it's that hearing your own voice kind of thing.
Yeah, true. So I'm very thankful that other people think differently about us. And
no, that's cool. I mean, like I say, it's a very strong vocal that you have for it, and it fits really well to the music. I will check out the tracks you did with Muzzy and the one that's coming out.
That's called Back to You.
Back to You, yeah, and I'll check that one out as well, because I do like to listen to Hospital Records releases and stuff. So
that on Hospital is called The End. You can also you can check it out on my Spotify.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
In the is featured on section. Yeah, so.
All right, cool. We'll check.
Which is
excellent.
Or YouTube, of course.
Or YouTube, yes, wherever you can stream it. So that's all good. So I've got a couple of questions left for you before we wrap up. So these are sort of generic questions I ask every artist that come on the show, and it's always gives some sort of interesting answers and stuff, because you've already mentioned one influence of yours, but I'm going to go for albums. So your 3 top albums that kind of define you as a musician or as a person.
Wow, that's a tough one. Wow, that's basically one I have to think about. That's basically the part where you have to cut out something.
Oh yeah, don't worry about it. Yeah, no, it's a common reaction to these questions.
Let me quickly think about it, because there are so many albums. Yeah, I have one already. I definitely.
Cool.
I'm probably gonna miss a few things. Okay, well, I tell you the 3 albums that I listened to back in the days when at the time where I started producing music. The 3 albums I've listened to all the time, and I still listen to them all the time. Not all the time, but quite a lot.
Yep.
And the first album is Melody AM from the Norwegian band Royksop.
Mm-hmm.
They are an electronic duo, and they do very chilled music and very cool melodies, and that's always music that has inspired me very much. That's one of these albums I still listen to a lot. Then Hybrid Theory by Linkin Park.
Yep.
Obviously, I still love this album. Listen to it all the time, and the production still sounds so good.
Yeah, I went back to it a couple of months ago, just purely out of nostalgic reasons, and it is really well produced. I think it was produced by the Dust Brothers, wasn't it?
I'm not sure.
Or the beats were made by them, I think, at least. But it's really good for the time as well. I think it was released around I want to say early 2000s.
Yeah, early 2000s.
Yeah, it was.
I think it was 2000.
Yeah,
or 1999 or something.
Yeah, I'd have to look it up, but it was. Yeah, for the time when it first came out, I was kind of not overly impressed with it, just purely because I was into more of the sort of harder rock, hardcore type thing. But then I sort of gravitated towards, as I got into the sort of, because I was into like Deftones and Incubus, and then it kind of melded with that and Papa Roach and things like that, and the whole like new metal movement of the time.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I went back to it and I really enjoy it. Like looking back on it, it was huge. It sort of pulled a lot of it was kind of them and Limp Bizkit kind of pulled it into the mainstream.
Yeah, true.
So
Limp Bizkit also favorites of mine, of course.
Yes.
Yeah. And the third album is rather a soundtrack compilation, but it's one of these compilations and also movies that, this movie totally changed my taste in music and in movies, and it still is one of my favorites, and it's The Matrix. The first soundtrack compilation of The Matrix totally got me into industrial, like Marilyn Manson stuff. Then you have all these glitchy stuff in their propeller heads.
Yep.
And also Deftones. And yeah, the soundtrack totally showed me a new world of music, and the movie itself was just so inspiring.
Yeah. No, it was.
I think I've watched it like 20 times already.
Yes. Yeah. No, that was a really good sound. I'm trying to think what else was on it. I know the Prodigy were on it.
Yeah. Also, Minefields from Prodigy.
Yeah, that was it.
So sick.
You mentioned Marilyn Manson already.
Yeah, I love this guy as well.
And Rage Against the Machine as well.
Yeah,
kind of a given. But there was a bunch of others on there.
Oh, so good music.
That was a really good one. Because I don't know if you had that, and there was another sort of crossover album, a soundtrack as well, the Spawn soundtrack. I don't know if you ever got into that. They got like rock and dance acts to collab.
Mm-hmm.
So you had like Slayer and Atari Teenage Riot. And you had Korn with I think it was the Dust Brothers.
That sounds like fun.
Yeah, check it out. Just go stream it on Spotify. It was really good.
Spawn soundtrack.
Yeah, Spawn, and it was Marilyn Manson and the Sneaker Pimps.
Mm-hmm.
They did a track together, but there was another movie as well that did a kind of rap rock crossover, Judgment Night.
Judgment Night.
Yeah, it was, the movie was nothing. It was like kind of had Emilio Estevez in it, and kind of didn't do much, but it had they managed to get like Booyah Tribe with Faith No More, and just like a bunch of other sort of rap and rock crossovers, which is, you might enjoy that one as well.
I will look it up. How is it called again? I've heard this name kind of.
Which one?
The second one.
Oh, Judgment Night.
Judgment Night.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds familiar, but I can't really tell you.
Yeah, it was one of the sort of like when rap and rock were kind of crossing over pre sort of new metal era. It was one of the sort of like the soundtrack was kind of better than the film. But it was it was just one where they got a bunch of like big sort of rock and metal artists to work with a lot of the hip hop scene. So it was really good, and that kind of like that gravitated towards what I was doing with my DJing and things. So. But yeah, the Spawn soundtrack was another one, a good sort of collaboration of like electronic music and metal, crossover. So
I will Spawn the album. There is artists. Oh yeah, sick. Filter and the Crystal Method.
Yes.
Trip Like I Do. I know the song, of course.
Yeah. Yeah, that was the big single off of it. But a lot of the other tracks, I think the other one was the other big one was the Marilyn Manson track, because they had a bit of a a disagreement with each other, the two groups. So,
okay.
And it kind of made the press at the time. So. But check that out. It's a really good one. There's some really good tracks on there.
Thanks, dude, for the suggestion.
No worries at all. So, what are your hobbies away from music? So, if you're
my hobbies away from music, watching movies.
Cool.
Movies. That's definitely a big hobby of mine.
What are your favorite movies?
Oh, that's another tough one. Okay, The Matrix. Surprise, surprise.
That's a good one.
I like deep stuff like K-Pax. I'm not sure if you know it.
Yeah, I know. That's Kevin Spacey. Yeah,
true. And, dude, some David Fincher stuff. I like Interstellar. All the Christopher Nolan stuff is very good.
Cool.
I like all of this. I basically made a favorite movie list at one point to share with my friends every time someone asks, but now I can't find it, of course.
No worries. I used to work in a video store, so I've seen so many movies. I went through started going through IMDb and adding like watch list, like stuff that I've watched. I think I'm up near 1,000 right now, and I've not even scratched it. So.
I wanted to do something and watch the top 250 and just make sure I've seen all of them, but I still miss many of them. And another very good movie I saw a few weeks ago is Nightcrawler. It's kind of new.
Yeah, I've not seen that one. Is that the one with Jake Gyllenhaal?
Yeah, exactly. And also, it's in the style of Drive.
Okay.
And yeah, I like this. I like both the soundtrack and the atmosphere because it's a kind of weird but great performances by the actors. And yeah, it's really a good movie. I can recommend it.
Cool. Yeah, and I have to check that one out.
Yeah. So many movies.
Yes,
I like. So
cool.
Basically, action stuff and thrillers and
nice. Cool. So, anything else you do away from music, hobby wise?
Yeah, I chill with my girlfriend.
Nice.
And music is basically the main part of my life.
Yeah,
free time, hang out with friends, and sometimes just get on my bike and just ride my bike through nature and think about stuff.
Nice.
Also, some video gaming, PS4, and some PC.
Cool.
Games like I play some Rocket League here and then with a friend.
Yeah, I love that game.
Or some Counter-Strike. Classics.
I've not played Counter-Strike in years.
Yeah, same. I had a long break, like for 4-5 years. I haven't played one single round, and at some point 2 years ago, I thought, dude, I would like to play Counter-Strike now, and then I was back in the gaming business.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, no, I've got an Xbox.
I'm a noob.
I'm a noob. That's all right. No, I got an Xbox One, so Rocket League's just been on constantly. So
cool.
I'm hoping they open up the cross-platform gaming scene so I can play against PS4, only because a lot of my friends at work and everything all have PS4s. So
I think the cross works on PS4 and PC, right?
Yeah, and I think they're trying.
Okay.
I think they're actually they've developed it to work across from like Xbox to PS4 as well.
Oh, okay.
But they're kind of like, I think they're still testing it right now, but they've said it is doable. So I'm like, excellent, make it happen, because there's a lot of people I want to play against. So
they definitely need to do this. That's the future.
They do indeed.
Yeah.
Cool. So finally, where can people reach you on like social media and things like that?
Yeah, they can reach me on Twitter. Just all my social media pages have just my name, Voicians, on Facebook, on YouTube, on Twitch, as said. On Twitch, you can chat with me and ask me questions about my production and just talk to me in person, basically. Instagram. I use all the pages, but mainly Facebook, Twitter, and Twitch at the moment, and YouTube. So I also have a SoundCloud, but yeah. Cool. So wherever you want to reach me, you probably can reach me somehow.
Excellent. Yeah. Cool. That's really cool. So thank you very much for for your time today, Dan.
Thank you,
It's
dude.
been an absolute pleasure speaking to you. Check out Survival League, which is out now. You can get it via the usual sort of digital outlets, including the FiXT store as well. And check out Part 1 as well, which is the album from last year, or EP from last year, if you will. Thank you, Dan. And
Thank
you
you,
have a
dude.
good rest of your day, okay? I'm not sure what your time difference is. It's about 6 hours, I think. So
Yeah,
you're at
probably
night time, aren't you? So
Yeah, I'm at nighttime, and it's like 9:15
Yes.
p.m. and I need to go to bed basically because I have early shift tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
Last work day for this month, and then back to music.
Cool. Thank you again.
Thanks a lot. Yeah,
It's been an absolute
was
pleasure.
fun.
Yes, it was.
Same.
Have a good one, man. Thank you.
You too. Bye.